The home. Young Max celebrating his foster brother Luke's acceptance to college. Max's brother didn't fare well in college. He died by suicide. In the present day, an adult Max awakens. He is gaunt, his body covered in tattoos. Max has grown into a graffiti artist who has been arrested for vandalism. His foster father works out a deal so he can work community service and not receive a criminal record. He moves into a retirement home, Green Meadows, where he is to act as superintendent janitor. He is told not to enter the fourth floor. Almost immediately, Max makes some unsettling discoveries. A woman whose head starts bleeding profusely during water aerobics and screams emanating from the forbidden fourth floor. When Max ventures upstairs to investigate, he finds residents who are catatonic, drooling, and crying blood. An old man in a wheelchair points and screams at him before trying to attack. It doesn't take a sharp mind to deduce that there's something very wrong with this place, a point that's underlined when a kindly resident named Norma warns Max, "There's something very wrong with this place." But soon after Norma urges Max to get away, she appears to jump from a window to her death, impaling herself on the iron gate below. Max finds a black light in his room with a message to find the marked ones, pointing him to residents with an X on their necks. He discovers Norma's journal, which includes the haunting line, "They come at night with their needles and their dogs, changing us too." Could that be why Max's other resident friend Lou, including pulling out his own teeth? Max receives cryptic messages from a woman on the Faceless Fantasies fetish site. She later shows up in his room, explaining that the government funds Green Meadows and other facilities like it, using residents as guinea pigs for new drugs and treatments. That seems to line up with the research Max has done into Green Meadows' Dr. Sabian, who was excluded from the medical community over a controversial eye therapy. Through all of this, Max appears to be getting weaker. He hasn't been sleeping well, tormented by nightmares of Dr. Sabian performing medical procedures on him and Luke screaming for help. When he flees to his home, there he meets two new younger foster children who show him a private room in the house with ritualistic symbols. Hidden room in the house with an altar to Dea, the Roman goddess of youth. There are also photo albums dating back decades that show his foster parents partying with Dr. Sabian, the Green Meadows staff, Norma, Lou, and the rest of the residents. None of them ever age or change in appearance. But at the center of every party photo is a different young person in a wheelchair, including, most troublingly, Luke. Max has a sudden revelation. He heads back to the retirement home and breaks onto the fourth floor because he's finally put together that the old man in the wheelchair was trying to get Max's attention for a reason. He's Luke. All of the residents on the fourth floor are the young people from the party photos who have somehow been transformed into barely conscious 100 or more years old. Before the Foster brothers can have a proper reunion, Max is drugged by Green Meadows staffer Les. When he wakes up, he's strapped into a wheelchair at the party from the photo albums. Everyone is there, minus Norma, who genuinely wanted to protect Max and was killed because of it. Lou proceeds to reveal that everything we've seen up to that point was bullshit. The marks on our necks, the government conspiracy, faceless fantasies, my psychoses, all a part of the grand tale we made for our entertainment while you nourished us at night. Dr. Sabian explains that there's a small sac behind a person's right eye that contains Dea's nectar and is the source of youth and vitality. They've been draining Max nightly and drinking his eye juice, as they've been doing to their chosen Green Meadows volunteers since the last century. Toying with Max and their previous victims is a way for this Dea cult to stave off boredom at their very advanced ages. Max's foster parents are 109 years old, while Lou is 128. Tonight, they're going to take even more of Dea's nectar from Max, enough to make him feel like a 100-year-old man. We see Sabian stick a needle in Max's eye and drain him, as the cult members surrounding him start their ritual. When Max wakes up on the fourth floor, he's bleary-eyed and barely conscious. He can see just enough to witness Luke take a spoke from his wheelchair and jab it into another resident's eye, coaxing her head forward so that her eye goop drips into a cup Luke holds under her. Luke proceeds to stab the eyes of every fourth-floor resident and finally his own, collecting the eye juice until he has a full cup of Dia's nectar. He then forces Max to drink the whole thing. He grabs a hammer and an axe and proceeds to murder every single cult member in Green Meadows. As Max concludes his rampage, he tells a dying Lou, "I'm taking it all back." The next shot we see is Max and the other fourth-floor residents walking out of Green Meadows, presumably having sucked out the eye juice from the dead Dea cult members littering the facility.